American Express over the past 5 years has taken over a decent chunk of the Canadian market, but we still see people making the same mistakes over and over again. So let's talk about it. We tend to see people making so many mistakes and leaving so much value on the table. So here are 6 common mistakes that people make with American Express. In this video, of course, we're going to talk about the common mistakes that people make, but we're also going to be talking about how you can avoid these mistakes going forward. Welcome back to the CreditVerse channel. If you're new here, my name is Ayan, and today we're going to be talking about the 6 common mistakes that people make with American Express cards. Let's get started with the first mistake. The first mistake that we see people make is getting the wrong card for your needs. We rave about the American Express Platinum card, but you have to just take a moment and sit down and think about whether you really need all the perks that come with the Platinum card. To really find out whether the American Express Platinum card is really for you, you can go on the American Express website and use their calculators to really see whether you come out ahead or behind. The calculators aren't the full story though. You have to take a look at your income, the perks and benefits that you get with this card, and how much you really spend. Let's say you're a university student and fly back home twice a year. It might not make sense for you to get the Platinum card, as you're paying an $800 annual fee to maybe visit a lounge 4 times in the entire year. That is not gonna make up the annual fee. Also, I'm not gonna lie, people choosing the wrong card is also slightly on us reviewers reviewing the card. We tend to talk about the American Express Platinum card so highly that we tend to forget that it doesn't work for everyone's lifestyle. We travel a lot, so we're able to maximize every inch of this card, but we realize not everybody else is able to. Let's say we take that same example of a university student traveling 2 times a year back home. The Cobalt card would be way more beneficial to you, as you're maximizing your earnings as well as not paying that high annual fee. Although the card comes with a $155 annual fee charged monthly, the earn rates on this card make up for it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you could comfortably get yourself a flight from North America to the Middle East in your first year of card membership. This is a short one, but it's a common mistake that we see happening so many times, and it's not using the right card for the right type of spend. If you start getting into the miles and points game, especially in Canada, you'll realize that welcome bonuses are the best way to earn a lot of points really quickly. This means we tend to have multiple cards from the same company like we do with American Express. I personally have the Business Edge, the Business Gold, and the Platinum card myself. But after you've hit the welcome bonus, knowing which card to use when is really important. For example, the Platinum card gets 2 times on travel, while the Cobalt does not. And it goes vice versa as well. The Cobalt card earns 5 times on dining, food delivery, and groceries, while the Platinum card just earns 2 times on dining, and that's it. It's easy to think that the more expensive card comes with more perks as well as better earn rates, but that's simply just not true. I know it can be a little bit of a hassle to start thinking about which card to use when and which card earns the most earn rate on whatever you're spending on. But I guess a good general guideline is to maybe note it down, see, and then the more you spend, the more you realize which card you have to use where. Like, it's already ingrained into my mind that I have to use the Cobalt card when I'm going out for food. But it's a matter of practice and just getting used to it. We've seen so many people pull out the shiny American Express Platinum card just because it has that feel to it, rather than earning the maximum you can earn with your points. You might be looking at this from the other side of the screen and being like, of course, just use the card that earns you the most amount of points. But the amount of people that we've seen make this mistake is just so many that we have to mention it here. The third mistake that we see people making with American Express cards is applying when it has the base bonus. When I was a rookie at the Miles and Points game, I applied for the American Express Cobalt card at its base bonus of 30,000 points at that time. And now I kind of regret that, because if I used a referral link or a bonus that was higher at the time, I would have maybe gotten 40,000, 45,000 at the time. So always look out for a higher bonus, a referral link, or something of that sort. A great example of this would be with the American Express Platinum card that's going on right now. It has an elevated bonus of 140,000 points without even a referral link. If you tend to use a referral link, you might even get 155,000 points. The base bonus on this card is 100,000 points. So you're getting about 55,000 extra points with the same amount to spend. American Express clearly states that the welcome offers are only once in a lifetime, so you can't really cancel a card, reapply for it, re-get the bonus. So when you're getting the bonus in the first place, try to make sure it's the highest bonus possible. Of course, there's no one size fits all, so there is an exception to this rule, one of them being if you have an immediate need for these points. Let's say you're planning a trip soon and going to use all the points as well as the perks from the card, it might just make sense to apply for the card at the base bonus. The second exception to this rule is the Cobalt card. The Cobalt card isn't really there for its welcome bonus, but rather for it to be a workhorse. The standard welcome offer on this card is 15,000 points, but we've seen a few links and referral links that have up to 24,000 points. And so if you even get that, I would say apply for it. Even at 15,000 points, I would still suggest getting it just because of how fast you can earn points on that card. I wouldn't wait 2 or 3 months or wait for that special link to appear for me to apply for this card. If you're looking to get a card and it's currently at its base bonus, try looking at more creative ways to go about it. One of the ways could be referral links. You can ask a friend, or we have a bunch of referral links down below which will give you extra points when you apply for the card. We've also noticed that Great Canadian Rebates is a great way to get a little extra. We've seen them offer a little extra cashback or something along those lines as well. Credit Karma is a great place to look at because they have some great offers as well sometimes. There was once upon a time where we saw a 52,000 point offer with the Cobalt card. How times have changed since then, and we're probably never going to see that. But they have had a few referral links that have been pretty solid. So you can take a look at that and see if they have some offers going on when you're applying for the card. The fourth one on the list literally boils my blood, but I see it happening so often. And it's not using a travel card for its travel perks or its travel points. Always brief over the different ways that you can use your Amex points. And we always focus on travel because that's where you get the best value. But there are other ways that you can use your points, like using it for a statement credit or using it on, worst of all, merchandise. It does hurt me a little bit when people say they've used their Amex points to get a statement credit, but worst of all is when I see people using it for merchandise. I will put my hand on heart and tell you that the Breville toaster is not worth 33,250 points. You can get so much more value than a toaster. This toaster costs you $270, and while that's not cheap for a toaster, you get 0.08 cents per point, which is terrible value. Just to put into perspective, I've taken 15 to 16 flights this year on points, and I've netted out about 3.8 cents per point on average. Now, I might be an anomaly because I'm trying to maximize my points to the max, but I can guarantee you that you can earn 2 cents per point on the flights that you take. This is far better than a toaster, and you get to visit a new place rather than toasting your bread. We also get so many questions asking us how we get to travel so much, especially for so cheap. And one of the main ways for doing that is always maximizing your points. The one way not to maximize your points is usually using Amex's fixed travel portal. A good example of this is from Toronto to Frankfurt, where Amex's fixed travel portal is going to cost you a crazy amount, while Aeroplan costs you only about 60,000 points. The last main one that we're going to be talking about today is not knowing what Amex offers are. They're a great way to save on a lot of merchandise and retailers that you visit quite commonly. Amex offers work quite similarly to a coupon book. Let's say you spend an X amount of dollars, you earn X amount of points or X amount off on your purchase, which is great to have as it can save you a bunch of money. I know that I used an Instacart credit that gives me $10 off each month that I use Instacart, as well as a airport credit that gives me $30 as long as I spend $60 on the card at major Canadian airports. So that saved me a ton, and it's great to have, and just look over them and see what you can and cannot use. The best way to see what Amex offers are available to you is opening the Amex app, going in the Amex Offers tab, and seeing what Amex offers you have. I tend to just add the offers that I might end up just spending on and then seeing what happens. It's better to just add them and then see them apply later on automatically than not apply them and then, you spend money at that place and then don't get the rebate back. In our experience, we have seen that the more premium cards get the better offers, but that's not to say that the low end cards don't get good offers. I know that I used a bunch of offers on my American Express Cobalt card, and it saved me a ton of money over the years. Also helps lower that annual fee a little bit more on money that you were going to spend anyways. I don't go out of my way to spend at XYZ place just because Amex has an offer on it, but it does help out. The sixth mistake that we have up on the list is a little bit of an extra one, and it wouldn't matter to most people, but it's a good thing to know, and that is not having more than 4 credit cards with American Express. This rule is exactly what it sounds like. You cannot have more than 4 credit cards with American Express at once. I emphasize on the word credit cards because this does not apply to charge cards. American Express does have a few charge cards, which we'll put up a list of over here, but this does not apply to these cards that we've mentioned over here. The list of credit cards by American Express is also in a list over here, which you can take a look. And so you can only have 4 of these credit cards that we mentioned over here. That is pretty much it for this video. If there's something that we missed, please do let us know in the comments down below. Let us know if you knew all of this or you didn't know all of this. And let us know your thoughts about the video down in the comments. If you did like the video, please consider giving the video a like and also subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this. We have a lot of exciting stuff for the rest of 2025. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.